blue side, who will be up against the Saigon Jokers on the red side. And as you can see, we actually have both teams kind of like milling it out with with 4 members of the Saigon Jokers actually trying to go for the long route to the red buff. And it seems that Infinite is kind of ready for this invade because they're all here down, kind of looking out for this invade that might be coming in. So let's just see what both teams kind of do. We may see a level 1 start out because we actually have Vayne that's inside the brush at this moment, and the stun comes in onto Firefox. Let's just see if they... And the Dark Binding comes out to safety. He actually flashes away to prevent himself from dying. The fight still continues with Xerath being taken low. QTV charging through the front lines. They put a wall down just to spot it out. The Dark Binding hits as well as the Glitter lands with Optimus flashing in using the exhaust, and the first blood goes on to Archie. The fight is not stopping because Porsche Cup gets taken extremely low. They manage to pop the blockbullets, and let's just see if Infinite actually tries to defend this one. Will they pick up the kill? Safety is very low. He's playing, you know, with just a sliver of health, and it seems that Archie manages to pick up both kills, the first blood as well as the second kill of the game. So a great start from SAJ.
Yeah, that was very well played by Genie on Lulu. He went slash before that.
Yeah, let's just actually take a look at the replay. So Kai-Ling, maybe I'll talk us through.
Yeah, so QTV flash after Vayne flash. I think Vayne was a bit slow to react there. Then the follow-up from SAJ also was a bit slow, but Infinite recovered from that and managed to get the spells down on safety, but safety flashed away in time. So from there, it seems that both teams are not going to get anything out of it until the next play by Genie came, which we will see shortly. So yeah, Genie flashing, Glitter lands like 4 people. So, and that was how they caught first blood of the Candlesticks, and from there they caught out with Zac and got the passive off him and got the second kill as well.
Yeah, and from that we actually had the red buff being counter jungle and actually passed on to... Wait, who did he get passed on to? Oh, well that happened, sorry. The red buff actually did not get counter jungle. That's my bad because it seems that Insta actually picked up his own red buff and the entire of SAJ decides to back off, and it seems that Archie, having such a great start, picks up the boots as well as the longsword. And
based on the timing of the buff, I think SAJ tried to do the red buff, but it was stolen by Insta on Shyvana with Smite. So I think that was very well played by Insta.
Yeah, and what happened here is actually we are seeing the lane swap coming out because it seems that the dual lane, as we were talking about earlier, could be quite even depending on how Fiddlesticks actually played. So it seems that Infinite actually wanted to opt for the lane swap so they could actually bully out Jax. What do you think about the lane swap in this situation?
It's one of the treatment against Jax, because the main thing about Jax is that you wouldn't want Jax to snowball against you or give him enough time to farm up. So you 2v1 against the Jax to ensure that his farm is kept low, and from there you can control him further.
Yeah, and no one really likes that, you know, hyper carry Jax coming into the late game. So let's just see how well they're actually facing off against each other. And even with the 2 assists, we actually have Kayle going back really quickly, picking up her second Doran's ring. So in the bot lane as well, we actually see Safety coming in to apply some pressure. I don't think we may see a gank because Safety still has the Bloodwell passive up, and let's just see what they do.
Usually we will not dive the bottom tower anymore because with the changes in current season, the tower is too painful to dive even with the passive of Aatrox. But nevertheless, it's a Zac, so all the more you wouldn't dive. But the current meta, how it works is that we'll be definitely getting the first tower if we do a 2v1 lane swap. After we get the tower, we can focus on objective like Dragon before cooking the game up to get other towers like the mid tier 1 or the top tier 1.
Yeah, it seems in the bot lane we actually have a lot happening on because maybe Insta kind of sense that little 3v1 pressure being put up, so they really want to defend this turret, and hopefully, as Kai-Ling said, both teams will want to get the first turret of the game, especially if you're Team Infinite and you want to win your first game of the season. So, you know, kind of back and forth action going around, and the junglers seem to be camping the bottom lane just to prevent the tower from going down, but it doesn't seem to kind of like... actually, we have Porsche Cup going in from the slingshot, Junie taking a bunch of damage, and the tower at the same time also taking a lot of damage. So let's just see how much damage the towers have taken. So compared to SAJ's turret, it seems that Infinite's turret has actually taken more damage.
Yep, and not forgetting the fact that Morgana has got teleport, so making any dives by SAJ a bit more, they have to be a bit more careful before diving.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And it just seems that, like you said, they are most likely not going to dive, and they're just happy poking away at the turret with Safety actually providing some backup just in case Archie and Junie needs it. And it seems that both mid laners are actually mirroring each other because they kind of just pushed out their lanes, waited for the rest of the minion wave to come, and both KO and Morgana, I mean, basically it's Su as well as Optimus, you know, just going to take the Wraiths in the jungle because the junglers have just been babysitting the lanes all this time. So even more damage being put out by the bottom dual lane of SAJ, and it seems that by the next wave they should be able to take the tower insta, forced to being back. Archie and Junie each taking a tower shot, and back up in the top lane we actually have QTV being feared up a bit and just Firefox hitting, you know, just bashing the turret down as much as possible. And it seems that by the next wave, SAJ will most likely take the first turret of the game, and hopefully Archie and Junie can actually rotate to the top lane and try to kind of dispel the aggression being put down by Firefox as well as Xerath.
SAJ has got two options right now, either... Okay.
And whoa, look at the amount of damage coming out. Xerath just pops the exhaust, and it seems that QTV maybe will pick up a kill against Xerath. And let's see if Firefox can actually pick up the kill. Morgana forcing to burn the teleport as well, and Firefox actually uses the flash to try to get the third proc of the silver bolts up to try to kill QTV. And it seems that so many summoner spells wasted, and yet QTV still came out to kill. He's actually still staying around, and the counter strike actually hits, and safety may just come in with the Dark Flight. Firefox has no idea that this is happening, and it seems that, you know, it's a bit of a mistake by it, and the Black Shield actually prevents Firefox from getting the knockout, but still Su is in a bit of a danger because Optimus has come out and actually picked up the kill onto Firefox.
So that was pretty weird on both sides. Like in the 2v1 lane, for the one solo laner to get a kill is going to come off a mistake, which happened with Xerath on Fiddle. That was how QTV got the first kill. But after that, QTV had a mix-up with safety, then that caused him to die as well when he actually got away already. So both sides playing a bit shaky for now.
Yeah, that was a very interesting play coming out. I mean, I actually expected QTV to just back off because, you know, it's something that QTV wouldn't want to do. He didn't have the HP and he didn't have the mana, so it was a wonder why he actually went back in. But still, they actually managed to pick up the kill onto both Xerath and onto Firefox. And it seems that Safety wanted to do a bit of counter jungling and is being stopped by Su, so he kind of manages to juke out the what's it called? Oh shoot, the the Dark Binding. That's right. So it seems that he still wants to counter jungle this blue buff, and Insta and Optimus here duking it out in the Banana Brush, and Insta taking a whole bunch of damage. Already level 7, and more action in the bottom lane with QTV actually going in the counter strike as well as the empowered strike. And it seems that SAJ just wants to use 4 men to brute force their way into the jungle and just steal away the blue buff of Infinite. And Infinite is not able to do anything at all because Safety still has his passive up, as well as the fact that Insta actually got taken down pretty low while dealing with Optimus in the Banana Brush.
Yeah, so that's how SGS has such a bad tough time as well. It's because when opponent downs your first tower and you don't down theirs, you lose the goal advantage. I mean, they have more items, they have more gold on you, so they're able to do more plays. Like in this case, they're able to contest the blue buff, and right now they're able to buy the top tower as well. So this is pretty much a perfect example of how a snowball will go on from here. Because with item advantage from the goal, they were able to pressure the lanes harder and make more plays.
Okay, and it seems that Infinite has certain problems trying to prevent this snowball from going on. So what can teams do to actually prevent such a snowball from happening?
I think the main thing for them is to not make mistakes during laning phase, because if they did not die to QTV there, the tower would have gone down and they could have based and contested the blue buff on more equal footing.
Okay, so kind of early game mistakes kind of pile upon each other and prevent you from making the comeback.
Yep, and not forgetting the 2-0 at the start from the invade, level 1 invade.
Yeah, that was really detrimental itself. And Safety here picking up his own red buff, and it seems that Optimus has been handed that blue buff already, so it's going to be a lot stronger in lane because Su is unable to take that blue buff, and he's going to take the Wraiths as well. And Morgana I think he was actually rotating out, hoping to take the Wraiths, but Insta wanted the Wraiths for himself, so Shyvana just decides to take the Wraith away. So QTV bullying out Porsche Cup in the bot lane actually, and it seems that the aggression from Archie and Junie is not stopping because Firefox as well as Xerath is unable to actually kind of answer back to Archie, because look at that, he has a Sheen and the Longsword compared to only the Vam Scepter as well as the Doran's.
That's the thing about Jax right now. If you do not have natural counters against Jax, for example Renekton, it will be very tough against him.
Actually, here we have safety going into the Dark Fly, managed to hit up Xerath, and the fear comes out to safety. The exhaust goes on to Firefox. Xerath goes down to safety. Safety's blood well has been popped, and it seems that Archie will definitely be able to take the kill onto Firefox. With Sue actually coming in, Archie actually flashed the Dark Binding, the Soul Shackles as well. The flash comes in. Junie actually flashes, preventing the second proc of the Soul Shackles, and Optimus is here to actually kind of save the day for Junie. And it seems Shyvana as well as the Wild Growth, both the Optimus coming out and being taken down extremely low. Optimus does not have the intervention at this moment, and Sue is forced to back off. So amazing play coming from SAJ, with them actually losing no one, and they actually took 3 kills from that play.
Yeah, I think that was very clean of SAJ. All of them burned their flash, but they managed to get out safely. And this is pretty much the start of a snowball by Aatrox. Because I have a chat with Hallelujah, my jungler. He was telling me that Aatrox jungle is very snowballish in nature. So right now it's happening. And I just noticed something interesting during that fight, which is Insta on Shyvana jungle actually went barrier. So not too sure how effective that would be, because that's the first time I'm saying that.
Yeah, I think we had the Shyvana jungle yesterday run Ghost instead of. Some people actually felt that Exhaust may have been a better summoner spell to pick up, but Barrier, yes, a very interesting choice. Maybe Shyvana Insta would like to go in with the Dragon's Descent and hopefully pop the, put some tankiness on it. And Poshka actually, the slingshot misses, a great juke coming out from QTV. Xerath comes in for the backup, and QTV is still unafraid going in with the Leap Strike as well as the Empower Strike, because he knows that safety is just on the side coming in and they will take the big wave. No, they will not take the big wave, because the smite actually is being pulled by Insta, and Insta still kind of saying that this wave is mine. I'm not gonna let you take it, even though you're trying to bully me on my own jungle. And more than that, we actually have amount of aggression being put out by QTV. He's just not afraid to be the split push, be the threat, and just dive as deep as possible into the turret. And while I'm talking, SAJ actually decides to pick up the dragon with safety, tanking it up, and Junie and Optimus to help for some, some backup. So the Dark Binding comes in just to kind of spot them out. And look at that, Firefox as well as Archie duking out solo, the 280 carries dueling in the top lane. And as I speak, the SAJ actually gets the first dragon of the game, and like I said earlier, the bully at the top lane. Firefox has no answer to such a fed Archie at this point of time, because Archie has the Brutalizers. A very interesting pickup as the second item. I expected him to rush for the Trinity Force, but decides to go for the Brutalizer instead. What do you think about that?
Itemization wise, I think for Archie to go for Brutalizer instead of putting Triforce is a bit puzzling, because Triforce right now is really OP. But it doesn't really matter for Astral versus Vayne matchup, because even with current itemization vastly in Archie's favor, if Firefox pops is out and able to dodge the first kill, the missing shot of Archie, he will actually win the 1v1.
Oh, QTV being very brave here, coming in with the counter strike as well. Definitely wants to pick up the kill on the Poshka, pops his ultimate, and Xerath just flashes in, use the exhaust. QTV uses Leap Strike as well as the flash. Poshka still keeping up with QTV. Will they dive this turret? It seems that QTV will manage to get away. Insta is there for the backup. Don't know whether he wants to go for the Dragon's Descent. And as I talk about that, Firefox gets caught in the jungle, gets popped up by the Dark Fly, and easily Archie picks up the kill. QTV, being the brave man, decides to man up against this 3-man right under his own turret. Unafraid at all, because he knows that the intervention is coming in, and a great true shot barrage goes through. What an amazing play. Optimus just comes in to actually deter both Xerath and Insta, dealing so much damage, already having that Nationals Tooth, and Insta taking a few hits on the tower. QTV manages to get away. They do not pop the passive. They pop the passive of Posh Cut, but they did not destroy the Bloodlet, so no kills there in the bottom lane itself, and Sue actually rotating down to prevent them from carrying on any further aggression.
I think I noticed that Sue's...
There's a replay coming up soon, so Kylie, you want to take us through?
Yeah, so this dive was a bit over aggressive, because they've got not enough CC. There was no way they could QTV under the tower. So the main thing for me when I saw this was that after it was a very great nice ulti by Optimus, but after Posh Cup got killed and his passive came up, I was thinking Morgana could actually teleport on the Goblet to save Zac, but he did not do it, so I'm not too sure why.
Yeah, and as we speak, as we were looking at the replay, SAJ actually manages to take, the entire top lane turret, and that snowball is really going on extremely crazy, because it's 15 minutes into the game, and SAJ is actually 10,000 gold ahead already with 5 turrets to their name. and they're still pushing on to the middle turret. They were able to take down inhibitor turret, but not the inhibitor. So that's kind of the saving grace for Infinite, and they are hoping to defend the outer turrets with their dear life. And QTV, as I speak, is actually split pushing in the bottom lane, hoping to get yet another turret on the side of SAJ.
Yeah, this is...
So actually we may have some aggression here. Both the wild growth as well as the intervention being popped. I think a little bit of a communication error coming there. Safety still has his ultimate, and here we have Optimus picking up the first kill. Morgana pops the Soul Shackles, but gets instantly bursted down by the team, by the combination of Archie as well as Optimus. So no deaths on the side of SAJ in that fight either, and it seems that they're just going to carry on with that aggression. So the replay here.
I think Safety is really lucky because after intervention was popped, he stayed far too long still, but he managed to get out with what, 10 health?
Yeah, and he still had his passive up as well. And look at that, that Porsche Cup goes in, and the entire team of Infinite decides not to follow up. The Dark Flight is still being popped, and Porsche Cup just gets taken down like that. And Sue actually pops the Soul Shackles right about now, when the entire team actually already backed off.
So like you said, probably miscommunication where Insta wanted to start the fight, but Sue wanted to just land his Dark Binding and back off. And that was why his ult was popped a bit late during that fight.
Yeah, and let's just... SAJ just a commanding lead ahead at this point of time. And I really don't know what Team Infinite can do, because they are so far behind in goal, so far behind in objectives, and it seems that they have lost most of their vision advantage as well, because they only have 4 wards actually here, spotting out some of them, but wait a minute, it seems that SAJ has no wards at all. So they're really confident going into this. I think their wards just kind of timed out and they're ready to refresh the wards at this moment.
Yep, based on what I played against SAJ is like, they will definitely leave QTV at bottom to do the split push, and then they will get map control and either push mid or do some Baron play.
Yeah, it seems that they might be posturing for a Baron because they have like 2 wards in the blue side jungle for Infinite, and maybe not Baron because they're super far ahead at this point of time, and they may just want to actually force down this inhibitor here because they're kind of 4-manning it with only Vayne, Firefox on Vayne and Insta to actually prevent them, and Insta being hit down to very low health, forced to pop the Dragon's Descent. So sorry about that, kind of choked on my own words there. And it seems that they're just going for the inhibitor without any respect at all to Infinite. Infinite doesn't seem to want to actually make the team fight. Firefox being taken extremely low by Archie, the fear being popped onto Archie, and it seems that they're just willing to give up the inhibitor turret without a fight. And QTV has pushed all the way down to the inhibitor bot turret, and you know, Porsche Cup with his level, he's only level 9, whereas QTV is at level 12, and look at the item advantage. It seems that, you know, they're just going to continue bleeding out turrets. Kyling, in your opinion, what should Infinite be doing now? Are they going to give up? And as I speak, QTV actually gets the fear popped on him, makes the flash, and it seems that he may just be able to get away. Will actually Firefox be able to chase him down at all? No, QTV gets away, and as all that happens, so much action. The tower being taken down, safety pulses out, gets onto Insta, and the inhibitor middle turret gets taken down as well. And Infinite cannot respond to this aggression at all. They take the second inhibitor of the game, and let's see if SAJ continues to push. So what can Infinite do?
I think they pretty much burned all their chances through the whole game trying to go after QTV and not being able to secure even 1 kill out of their many times they've tried killing him. I'm not too sure why they keep trying to chase after QTV, because they really should have just stayed together as 5 and tried to take on the other 4 members of SAJ, because that would have been what their team plan was all about. Shyvana being able to go in with the Dragon's Descent along with Morgana's Flash out or Dark Binding along with Zack's Jump, and Vayne can clear out from there. But it's not happening because SAJ did the right play and they went top to down the top inhib. However, if I was in Team Infinite's position, I would have said to back off, give the inhib, and fight under the middle tower and hope from there we can get some kills, like what they're doing now. But that could be a little too late in my opinion.
Okay, let's just see what Infinite is able to do. So it seems that SAJ is able to kind of start poking down this bottom inhibitor turret, and with super minions streaming into the base, it is very difficult for Infinite to come back from this. And with QTV continuing to pull off that split push, he's not even needed in the team fight because it seems that Infinite is not able to deal with him. And yes, it seems that SAJ will take down the final inhibitor turret. And with Porsche Cup going in so much, pulling off the Let's Bounce as well as the Morgana Soul Shackles coming in here, it seems that it's, they're not really able to do anything. Actually, they managed to pick up Archie, whereas QTV is, as well as Optimus is kind of wrecking face at the back. And the bloblets have been popped. Su being taken down really low by QTV, and it seems that they will be picking up the kill onto Porsche Cup, and Su is the only one left standing. It seems that SAJ will take this game at this point in time because there's only one Nexus turret standing in between their win, and actually Su being popped up by the Dark Flight, getting hit by the Counter Strike, and QTV may just go down from the bounce of the Dark Flight. So Xeris picks up that kill onto QTV, and Junie as well as Safety, the only two in the base here, a bit reckless because they thought they could end the game, and with the Crow Storm coming in from Xeris, he actually manages to pick up 2 kills in his own base as Infinite desperately tries to defend the Nexus here. So like you said, Kailing, nothing much Infinite can do.
Yeah, I think because SAJ did very well this game where they were very methodical in going about clockworks from top to mid to bottom, making sure they get all the objectives and snowball the game from there. But even with that 15k goal advantage going into the last fight we just saw, we saw that SAJ had all 5 members down to really low amounts of health, and one would just think that if Team Finite had gotten to a team fight much earlier, they might actually have come up ahead in this game. But I don't seem to think they understand that this comp of theirs are very strong if they were to engage as a team under the tower, and they failed to do it until now, which is too late already.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with the Dragon's Descent as well as the Slingshot coming in for the initiation of Let's Bounce, it seems that, SAJ is going to take this game, but like you said, the initiation power coming in from Infinite may have been able to actually take the game. And so we actually had the first game of Week 3, Day 3, going to the Saigon Jokers.
Yep, so I think Infinite will need to work on their play a bit more, on their teamwork a bit more, to understand that they may be behind by a big amount, but it's mainly because of their draft, where if they will draft a team comp oriented draft, they will definitely have to group up as a team and fight under the tower if they were that behind. If they were going to go after one person, which is QTV, the whole game, they end up losing their base, their ADC won't be able to farm, and that's exactly what happened this game.
Yeah, and like you said, Aatrox is a very snowball kind of jungler, and what happened in the early game was definitely a detriment to them. And the fact that Archie actually managed to pick up both kills in the early game, I think that kind of allowed them to take the turret first and kind of rotate to the top lane to prevent their turret in the top lane from going down.
And that furthered the snowball.
Yeah, that definitely furthered the snowball. So a very quick, very fast game coming in from SAJ, taking the first win of Day 3, Week 3.